WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. Indiana in the Morning is always presented by First Commonwealth Bank. And speaking of which, First Commonwealth Bank has always been very, very good about coming in to visit with us on America Saves Week, which is what this is. And Melinda Disque is with us. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. She is a financial advisor. She is the financial advisor here in Indiana. Melinda, good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you with us here today. We've been talking about my financial illiteracy, which at my age should not be, but I just can't make myself do it, Melinda. Fix me, would you?
I have faith in you, Todd. I have faith in you.
So, America Saves Week, what is it all about?
So First Commonwealth Bank is once again participating in America Saves Week, which runs through this Friday, February 25th. This week we'll have a wealth of information that we are sharing on our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Come check it out on how you can manage, save, borrow, and protect your financial assets. We're providing lots of educational resources for our own employees in the community, including virtual financial education classes, which are available to you. And anyone can sign up. So just contact us for more information. You can either call us at 1-800-711-BANK. That's 1-800-711-2265. Or email us at engage@fcbanking.com. You may also simply stop by one of our community First Commonwealth offices.
I'm sure there are basic things that everybody should know, the fundamentals, the foundation of your financial literacy and how to handle money and how to manage it. Does it really change all that much from year to year or over the course of a 2 or 3 year span?
Not
those
really.
Basics, still same things?
Yeah. So saving, putting away money so that way you have a rainy day fund, balancing your checkbook, taxes.
You're
you
supposed
mentioned.
To do that?
Yeah. I'm one of the weirdos that likes to balance to the penny.
Yeah, so does my wife, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, I don't understand how you can do it.
And your colleague mentioned credit, so paying your bills on time. So these are many of the pillars of good financial health.
Well, we hear things like, what's your credit score? And 10 or 15 years ago, we would have said, what's a credit score? And maybe we still say that now because we really don't think of that it's very important. But your credit score really does form the basis for your ability to get a loan, for instance, or to get a loan at a better rate. All of those things come into play. And so getting that foundational matter handled and knowing the right people to go to, that might be the most important thing of all.
Yes.
Is knowing where to go to get the financial advice that you're going to need.
Yeah. So First Commonwealth Bank.
Oh, that's a good place. I would think that you'd say that because that's what you do. But what does somebody in your position do for somebody?
So I'm a financial advisor. My areas of expertise are retirement planning, investments, and insurance, which brings me to my disclosure. Since I'm in the securities business, it's like I come with a disclosure or two. So bear with me for just a moment. I'm technically a dual employee between First Commonwealth and Infinex Investments. Investments, insurance products, and services are offered through Infinex Investments Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. First Commonwealth Advisors is a trade name of First Commonwealth Bank. Infinex and the bank are not affiliated. Products and services made available through Infinex are not insured by the FDIC or any other agency of the United States and are not deposits or obligations of nor guaranteed or insured by any bank or bank affiliate. These products are subject to investment risk, including the possible loss of value.
I got to get my own disclosure. That sounded so cool. You get to go around and you have your own disclosure.
Yeah, at least
Melinda.
one, maybe 5.
That's fantastic. So say somebody of a certain age, say somebody is 60, in their early 60s, and they've done minimal things for their retirement. They've got a fairly stable income. They might have an IRA. They might have a 401k, but they don't pay any attention to that. Retirement years are coming for folks like that. And I know it's never too early to start saving for retirement, but does it get to a point where it becomes too late?
I would say no. There's always something that you can do to help your financial future. So speaking of 401ks, 403bs, they are one of the best ways to save for your financial future. I would highly recommend taking advantage of your employer retirement savings plan. If your employer has a match program, it's important to contribute enough for the full match. Otherwise, it's like leaving a raise on the table. Something that I love about employer savings plans is the savings is systematic. You don't have to think about it. With each pay, money is being saved for your future.
Yeah.
So I love them. 401ks for the private sector,
Uh-huh.
403bs for the public sector, and simple plans are very common
Yeah.
too.
And years ago, when IRAs first became available, they were the rage. And they're still very important to a lot of folks who have just continued in that mode. And then came the Roth IRA and the different manifestations of it. And so the savings world, I guess what I'm getting at, it does change, and maybe we don't keep up with it as we should. But that's what you do.
Yes, that's my
Okay.
job.
So that's good to know that you're more than just a safety net, but you can make recommendations that can help people in their financial situation. But don't you first have to establish what their goals are?
Absolutely. So their goals, their timeline, their risk, all important to help them come to the solution that makes the best sense for them.
Yeah, and of course it's going to impact when they retire, what they can do after they retire. All of those things have to come into play, and so I would guess that it's a real, maybe not a strict financial plan, but it's something that you really have to think out all of the details. You never know what's going to happen down the road, but getting the details taken care of as quickly as you can is a really good idea.
Most definitely. And it's something that I love about my job is that I get to see folks retire all the time. And it's a process. It's a huge life change. And, you
Hmm.
go from, you've been working here 40 years every day, coming in, doing not the same thing, but you have a schedule of what you do, and then that changes
Yeah.
in retirement. And you have to think about, okay, what am I going to do? What's that day going to be like for me whenever I'm
Hmm.
not coming into Renda?
Yeah. Um, who knows how soon that day will come?
Right, right.
But we do not know,
No.
and to have that, they used to call it the nest egg,
Yeah.
but to have that solid financial underfoot really it becomes more and more important as you do approach the retirement years. Now, for somebody in another situation, say they're in their late 20s, early 30s, their wild years are done now, and they're trying to settle down. They've got the job, and they find themselves saying, okay, I've got a family, or I'm going to have a family. I need to save for them. I've got college educations to pay for my kids whenever that happens. And at the same time, we're keeping the long, way down the road idea of retirement for ourselves. Obviously, they've got time, and if they use it to their best advantage, it's just going to help them the further down the road they go, correct?
Absolutely. So I mentioned about taking advantage of your employer plan, contributing at least enough to get the company match. And something that has changed this year is the limits for 401ks, 403bs, and simple plans. The limits have all gone up. For folks who are under age 50, they can put in up to $20,500 as their own contribution. What the employer puts in would be on top of that. And then for folks that have that are turning 50 this year or over 50, they can put in up to 27,000. So they have the
Hmm.
catch up of 6,500. For simple IRAs, the contribution limit is 14,000 if you're under 50, and if you're 50 or older, another $3,000, bringing the total to 17,000. So, a lot of people may not be able to afford to put that much in, but every little bit helps
Hmm.
to, set aside, especially whenever you're younger and you have that time to build that money up. So it does build up over time. So a
Yeah.
great thing to take advantage of.
Yeah, it does. During America Saves Week, you get a lot of extra folks coming in and asking for situations such as this. Help me to set it up, because that foundation, that very first visit, I would guess, would be pretty important for you to ascertain. Okay, what are we talking about with you here? What do you see as your goals, and what would you like to see happen with your finances?
Most definitely. And outside of the employer plan, you mentioned IRAs. So there's Roth and traditional IRAs. have to say I love my Roth IRA. The money that goes into it would be after taxes. And once you're over 59 and a half and you've had it for 5 years, all the earnings are tax free. So it's a great way to save. I do love it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, why would you not? Anytime,
tax-free money.
Yeah, anytime you can say tax-free, then you're on the right road. So it's a great idea, America Saves Week, for people to take stock of what they have and what they would like to do with their lives. You mentioned all of these wonderful resources that First Commonwealth has available. Where are we going to access those resources?
So going to your community office with First Commonwealth, emailing us, calling us. I also have an email address for our back office at First Commonwealth Advisors. That's info@fcadvisor.com. And if you're emailing from hearing this radio broadcast, mention that, and we'll share an article that includes important tax numbers for 2022, such as the IRA and retirement plan limits.
All right. Terrific stuff. She's Melinda Disque. Anything else we would like to do? I know that you'd like to offer a great shout out this morning to some special people.
I do. Support your local volunteer firefighters. So I wanted to give a shout out to my homeboys in Plumville. So
there you go. There you go. They're good guys. I know those fellows pretty well. And all of our firefighters, police officers, all of those folks standing out there helping us out in case of emergency. She is Melinda Disque. She's with First Commonwealth Bank, the title sponsor of this program, Indiana in the Morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for listening.
Enjoy.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Have a wonderful time today and through the rest of America Saves Week. Come back anytime, okay?
All right.
Thanks,
is Todd.
The voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM and AM 1160.